Well, hi y'all. It's me, Sahara, and it's nice to be back with you again. I think I have a good angle on the cards. I'm going to do two things that I just love. It might happen in two short videos. We'll just see how the time goes. So, the first thing I'm going to do a comparison between Donald Trump and Elizabeth Warren. I've already laid out the cards, and I chose that. I've already dealt out the cards, and the interpretation is kind of. I hope that to me it's obvious, and it lends another perspective on what would happen if Elizabeth Warren ran against Trump. And so let me see if I can angle the camera. Well, I think we've got it. Um, this first row is for Elizabeth Warren. I'm sorry. First row is Donald Trump. The second row is Elizabeth Warren. And this I can do with all upcoming candidates. Many of them have done their charts, and it just adds a depth to it. Basically, if the reader meditates and is in tune with the question, the answer will appear. Donald Trump, and this is going to show how they progress along the trail. They're both on a campaign trail. So we start right off with Donald Trump. It's the full reverse. Yeah, it's reverse. And I want to tell you, I did the numerology for the name Donald Trump, as it came out to be the Fool, number 22. It's hilarious. We did a whole video on it. I'll try to attach it. Just says Fool. I think Elizabeth from Sanford, some would say, "Hey, what are you doing, fool?" Wish she could come on to narrate the elections. The next card is not too bad. Let me see. It was upright. And in an upright position, the magician means he has a few tricks up his sleeve. And even though he's really dumb and he does foolish things, he still has power behind him. He has a few tricks up his sleeve. So this often the magician is the trickster. The Gemini sun is a trickster too. So, and tricksters go through our history. They're usually the court jester and things like that. That's what the fool is. Upside down. Next we have Lady Justice, the Queen of Swords, upright. She's going in the right direction. This is a very powerful card. It also stands for a woman who stands alone and knows what she's doing, and she cuts right to the bone. It's a warring woman who, this is a lawyer or a surgeon. I had one of my flash tubes 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I saw Trump with an IV bag over his head, like he was lying in a hospital. And I did think it was serious, so I'll take that for what it is. Next, we have these two cards. I have to lay them out the way they fell. This is the Emperor. This was saying he'll be out of the race and probably will not run for re-election. The Emperor reversed this way means this could be Bill Barr. Even if he tries to protect Trump, he won't be able to, because he's going to fall too. He's a Gemini as well. And in the end, justice reversed means that justice will prevail. So with this in mind, I don't think he's going to make it to the finish line. If you got the Emperor of reverse, this is This is the law, and this is also man and God's law. Morality, the emperor could very well be Bar, and Bar cannot protect him for long. The little haven of thugsters around Trump cannot protect him from this woman. She needs some dramatic music. Da da da. She's the one. She's my girl. And this is justice reversed. It came up reversed. And you're not going to make it with this. And we know, most of us know his political history and his history. He's not going to even run. He's not going to make it. The way I see these cards is that if Elizabeth Warren makes it to the nomination, and there's a lot to happen before then, he won't even make it, So it's just not in the stars. However, he has a few tricks up his sleeve. This is his one ace. He's got it right now. What's he going to do? This is what he basically bullies and intimidates the American people. And he can do anything. So, but I think Lady Justice, this is a woman lawyer. All the women running against him are lawyers. Oh, God. Trump can't even read. So, anyhow, Elizabeth Warren. Oh, I laid the cards out before we started with the reading. This is the Nine of Cups, and it was reversed this way. This means she starts out with, she's unsure, and she has power in the wrong places. So this could be the Republicans are doing everything they can. This means you're starting off like a few lengths behind in the horse race to the presidency. And the Hermit says, I stand alone. I follow my own wisdom. And the Hermit was upright. I stand alone. I follow my own wisdom. She follows her heart. You see, the Hermit has a lantern. He stands alone. He's following his own truth. Next, one thing that comes out good for Elizabeth Warren, as we're going down, this is as in the past, and as we're getting closer, this is closer. She was undecided, and she felt very alone in making this decision and wasn't sure. And the Republicans were working against them. Who knows what they were doing to her. Next we have the Four of Cups. This is usually the White House. You get your aim. This is, if you're an individual, you're going to get that dream house. Your family's going to come together, and you're going to be dancing. These people are dancing with their happiness. So there's a few people with flowers and things. This is the White House. She's aiming for the White House. She's looking for a residential move. Elizabeth Warren is a Cancer. She is driven by what's in her heart, because a Cancer will protect their home, and if they have a wider sphere, they will do everything they can to protect their home base and their country. You find more Cancers in PTAs and anything that helps the community at large. That's some Cancers. It kind of depends. Sometimes they just stay in their house and won't come out. Other times they come out fighting. And she's a fighter. This is great. This is the Ace of Swords. And this means that justice is on her side. And once again, we have legal things and justice. So this legal battle's around, and she's winning. When you go into a court setting with this, you're going to win. But it's not easy. That's the problem. Very few people are throwing rose petals out in front of you. she's going to stand alone in some ways. Now, which here, right? See, by the time we get to here, Trump is out of the race. Trump is out of the race with these two cards. He's not going to make it. He's not. When Elizabeth Warren is getting closer to the Democratic convention, she's going to have the law and the forces of good on her side. Trump is gone. This is Bios Candios, pal. The good guys won, but it was hard. This is the one that worries me, and this lets me know that she just so far in with as far as we can see into the future, she is at the nomination, but she is fighting. This guy is holding his ground and also looking for higher ground. So she's going to make it up to the nomination, and this is where the trail stops with her. Her story, of course, will continue, but she's in the race. She's in the race. Trump is not. By the time we get up to the two political conventions, he's not there anymore. Bye-bye. Goodbye, Mr. Trump. Dun-da-da. Dun-da-da-da-da. Goodbye. We need to play some taps. You know, day is done, sunny sun so long, Bios Candios, and rest in peace. So, and also he has a medical issue, and that's a whole thing that we've got to wait and see. Is he going to buy out with a medical issue to try to buy his way up? But these cards say, these two cards alone, even though you got a few tricks up your sleeve, he's playing them now. He's playing them now, and but it's not going to last. If this is the finish line, he doesn't make it to the finish line. Justice and the Emperor are, you can't fight these two major arcana cards. They are the end of the matter. Elizabeth she's going to be battle worried by the time she gets up to the convention. And that will have to wait till we get to the Democratic convention. I will be comparing her cards with other people. And Mr. Trump, you're not going to be around long. Yes, you're right. People will be dancing in the street. So that's what this is. See, this is lined up with this. Okay? These people are dancing in the street, and they're dancing right up to the White House. This guy is being mowed under by authority figures and justice. So that is the reading with our these two particular candidates. I have another spread, two spreads for the economy, and so I'll put that on the next YouTube coming up. And because I am going to be following this, and I'm going to be putting up the economy and people running in the race, and try to keep heart. It's been hard for everybody. I think the big question is the environment, and I can do a spread on the environment because I study this astrology and the yugas. We're at the end of the Dark Ages. We're wrapping that up. We have stepped into the age of Aquarius, and this is what the Mayans foretold. And we might have passed the point of saving our planet at 2012. So the environment, first I'm going to do the economy, then I'm going to do the environment. So subscribe and stick with me on this fascinating, if anything, we're living in fascinating times. So stay tuned.